everybody, thank you so much for watching. It is so good to see you all again. And if you're new here, then a very spooky Mel's Yarniverse welcome to you. In today's video, we're going to be looking at 10 absolutely adorable but also very spooky Halloween amigurumi patterns. So get comfortable, stick around, and hopefully you won't get too scared. So just a quick note before we get started, all of the links to all of the patterns featured in this video are listed down in the description below, so they should be nice and easy for you to find. I've also tried to find a wide variety of different patterns, so from very basic beginner all the way through to more intermediate crocheters. Now, some of these patterns are paid patterns and some are free, some have tutorials, and some are just the written pattern. So I just thought I'd point that out before we get started. Okay, then let's check out the first pattern. Now, this first pattern comes to us from Stitch by Faye, and it's an absolutely adorable little vampire. Look at that little face. It's not Halloween without a vampire around, is it? Now, I thought this particular pattern would be perfect for a beginner. Unfortunately, there is no tutorial. It is just a written pattern, but there are a lot of really helpful notes and tips written down in the pattern itself, which is fantastic. I thought these would be perfect either as little keychains that you could give away, or possibly you could use these to replace giving away lollies or candy to any trick-or-treaters that might appear at the front door. Isn't it just beautiful? So sweet. I just love it. Pattern number 2 is this absolutely adorable ghostie from the Loopy Lamb. Isn't that a great channel name? I just love it. What I love about this particular pattern is that it's a full tutorial, so it's absolutely perfect for a brand new crocheter, and you can make it in either acrylic or in chenille. So if you're used to working with one particular fibre over the other, then you can choose to use that. I love that if you use an acrylic, you'll have a tiny little terror to hand out or give away to your friends. Or if you make it in chenille, you're going to have a much bigger toy that can hang around for years to come. I could see that being an amazing home decoration to pull out every year for Halloween. Maybe you could dress it up every now and again, maybe change the hat that he wears. So much fun. I just love it. Pattern number 3 is this absolutely amazing zombified spider. I just love it. Now, this particular pattern comes to us from the lovely Lee over at Skein Spider here on YouTube. If you haven't seen any of her videos, then definitely check her out. She does some wonderful tutorials and she makes some amazing projects too. So definitely have a look at her channel. Now, this particular pattern is for the base spider pattern itself. You can then watch the video where Lee takes you through her process for how she modifies that base pattern and turns it into that zombified spider that we saw before. It's absolutely brilliant, and it's a great fun watch too. So if you're looking for the base pattern, you'll find it on Skein Spider's Ravelry store. Have a look at that. Isn't that amazing? I just love it. This project would be an amazing house decoration. I could see it hanging off somebody's wall, or maybe you might want to have it pop up over the popcorn bowl during your next horror movie. That would be amazing. This project's definitely on my to-do list and I can't wait to make one. It's going to look great. Now, this next pattern's been on my to-do list for quite some time, and now that my chenille yarn has arrived, finally, I'll be able to get started. It's this beautiful Hocus Pocus pumpkin by the lovely Tanya over at Hodgepodge Crochet. Now, this is a paid pattern that you can find over on her Ravelry store. There's no tutorial for this one, so if you are an absolute beginner and you struggle to read patterns, then maybe this isn't for you. But if you're someone that can follow a written pattern, then please do yourself a favor and head on over to her Ravelry store. And while you're there, take a good look at some of the other patterns she has available too. They are absolutely gorgeous. You can thank me later. Now, this particular pattern I could see working up as a beautiful home decoration. I can see it in both an acrylic or a chenille yarn. So I'm tossing and turning whether or not to make it up in an acrylic or in the chenille. Maybe I'll make them both. Who knows? I'm definitely going to get my hands on it though, so keep your eye out in future videos. You might see a little Hocus Pocus pumpkin pop up in the background somewhere. Pattern number 5 is this absolutely gorgeous but still spooky Grim Reaper. Look at his little face. Isn't he gorgeous? He's got his little hood happening. He's got his scythe. He's ready to go. That's just so adorable. Now, you'll find this pattern on Stringy Ding Ding's website. Isn't that a fantastic name? It is written with beginners in mind. However, there is no tutorial. But what you do get is quite a lot of very clear photos stepping you through the process, which is fantastic. So, as long as you're a beginner who can read a written pattern, you shouldn't have any problems at all with this particular pattern. He's an absolutely adorable little Grim Reaper, and I could see him being worked up fairly quickly and terrifying people in your home for many years to come. Now, it's not Halloween without a little witchy action, is it? And this little witch is absolutely beautiful. Look at her little face and her little curls and her hair. Ah, just beautiful. Now, this particular pattern comes with a full tutorial, which is fantastic, particularly if you're an advanced beginner or an adventurous beginner looking for a bit of a challenge. I feel like this pattern is right up your alley. This pattern comes to us from Little Crochet Farm, and it's an absolutely fantastic tutorial that once again steps you through every part of the process. I can see this absolutely beautiful little witch decorating many, many homes. I could see it being someone's favorite little toy. I could also see it being a little keychain or possibly, once again, a nice big plushie. I think that would look amazing. Now, you can't have a witch without her bubbling cauldron, can you? And this particular pattern is a fun, easy, no-sew crochet pattern, which makes it one of our favorites already. For this particular pattern, we're headed back to Stitch by Faye's website, where we'll find a beautifully written pattern. Now, unfortunately, there is no tutorial. However, she does have some wonderful tips and tricks written in the pattern notes to help guide you along your way. It's an absolutely beautiful little cauldron. It's tiny, and I can see this once again worked up in a little keychain that you could give out to friends and family as a little treat for Halloween. Now, this tutorial has been made with beginners in mind, so it's nice and clear and easy to follow. They take you through each step in the process, so they show you not only how to crochet your bat, but also how to assemble it when you've got your pieces all ready to go. He's absolutely gorgeous. And once again, this can be made up in either acrylic or chenille, so it's quite an adaptable pattern. Look at that little bat. Isn't he just beautiful? Now, the final two patterns I have to show you are actually some of my own creation. So get ready for the shameless plug. If you don't want to see it, you should probably switch off now. But if you're still here, then I'm going to show you my two new creations that I made for Halloween. Technically, they're not new creations, they're Halloween modifications to already existing patterns. Let me show you what I mean. So I sat down to try and make something new for Halloween, and I asked my octopi friends what they would like to dress up for Halloween. And one of them said he'd like to be Frankenstein's monster. So I got to work with my crochet hook and I came up with this. I hope he's in focus. Please be in focus. I'm introducing you to Frankenpuss. He's tiny, as you can see. He's very small. I thought this would make a fantastic little keychain, or maybe one of those toys that you can dangle off the back of your backpack. I think he's pretty cute. I think he turned out pretty well, considering I just sort of threw a few things together. So this one was made with an 8-ply or DK weight acrylic. So he's just a little thing, and I think he looks adorable. But I wanted to see if he would scale up with chenille. So when my chenille arrived yesterday, I finally had a chance to get one together. I had to get up nice and early to make this one. And he looks like this. So that's his big brother. So that's Frankenpuss in plush yarn. And I think he turned out pretty well. Now, I used the same pattern to make both the acrylic and the chenille version of the Frankenpuss. So you only need the one pattern. However, if you're someone who already owns the existing octopus pattern, then you'll only need to purchase the modification to make the Frankenpuss. You don't have to buy a whole new pattern. So I just wanted to point that out. And the last pattern I have to share with you today is, of course, a Halloween modified stressless test pattern. So just as a reminder, here's what she normally looks like when worked up in a chenille. So she stands at about 30 centimeters tall. And she's very plain, but I love her. I think she's very sweet. Now, I asked her what she wanted to dress up for Halloween, and she said she wanted to be a dapper jack-o'-lantern. whatever that means. So I got to work with my crochet hooks and a bit of acrylic yarn, and this is what came out. Here she is, the Dapper Halloween version of Stress Less Tess. I think I kind of nailed it. Jack-o'-lantern and the dapper top hat, I think, work together really well. So that's how tall she is when made with an acrylic yarn. I think she's very sweet. Now, once again, I could see this being used as a keychain or as a small toy to give out to friends and family. Maybe it's something you want to give out for trick-or-treaters. Who knows? But she's adorable and a lot of fun to make. So once again, this can be made in both an acrylic and a chenille. So you can imagine that's a standard size made up in the chenille. And there she is made up. This was made with a 4.5 mil hook size using DK weight yarn. And there she is in just a standard chenille with a 5 mil hook. So once again, this is a pattern that is scalable. If you use a larger yarn and a larger hook size, you're going to get a bigger product. If you go down and use a smaller hook, so once again, that was a 4.5 mil, you could go down to a 3 or even a 2.5, depending on what you'd like to make. Now, once again, I will be releasing a full pattern and also a modification. So if you're somebody that already owns the Stress Less Tess pattern, then all you'll need to do is buy the modification, not the full pattern. They'll all be made available up on Etsy and Buy Me a Coffee if you're interested in either of the patterns. Now, I just want to be clear, make sure that you look at the patterns. If you already own an original Stress Less Tess pattern, then you don't need to buy the full pattern again. You can just buy the modification, which is going to be much cheaper. And same again with the octopus as well. If you already own the octopus pattern, you don't need to buy the full Frankenpuss pattern. You can just buy the modification. However, if you don't own either of the two original patterns, you will need to buy a full pattern because the modification only works if you use it in conjunction with the original pattern. Well, that's everything I have for you in today's Hallogurumi Spectacular. I just love that Hallogurumi. That's just fantastic. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you do go ahead and make any of the projects on this list, by all means, please get down into the comments section and let me know all about it. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your feedback. And I just love chatting with everybody down in our comment section. We have such a wonderfully supportive crochet community, not just here on the channel, but just in crochet in general. I just love how supportive and how helpful and thoughtful everybody is. So thank you so much for that. Thank you, as always, goes out to my lovely yarnies, my channel members. Thank you so much for your support and for keeping me motivated and getting that content out there for all of us to enjoy. I really appreciate it. To anyone that's ever liked or shared one of my videos, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. It lets me know exactly what kind of content you'd like to see here on the channel. And as always, it keeps me motivated to keep going. So thank you so much for your support. All right, guys, take care of each other and take care of yourself because you absolutely do deserve it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.